Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. Sarah, can you hear me this morning over on TikTok? I'm trying out a new microphone today, so I'm hoping that it's working. But good morning, everybody. I can't believe it's Christmas Eve. Okay, if the mic starts getting crackly, just let me know, okay, guys, and I'll try out my other one. But Merry Christmas, all. So today I'm working on the Hugs and Kisses Chevron blanket. Originally, this is a baby blanket, but I am doing it as a Christmas blanket. And so I'm using three different colors. This is Caron Simply Soft Yarn. The red is Harvest Red, and then white, and this is Dark Sage for the green. Obviously, I didn't get this time done in time for Christmas. I knew I wouldn't. This is a blanket that I'm making for myself here at the house, just to go on the back of the couch during the holidays. And I knew it would be kind of a long project. So it is quite a wide blanket. I want to be able to snuggle up with it. And so I did quite a few chevrons on this. So if we put a measuring tape, if y'all are curious how big this guy is, I probably should have gone a little smaller on it in hindsight, but I didn't. So right now it's about 53 inches. So it's a pretty big blanket. But the pattern that I'm doing is a free pattern, and this is a crochet crowd pattern. This was designed by Jeannie, but it is Mikey has a great tutorial of this. And one of the things I love about this pattern is they give you the stitch diagram, which really helps me to know what I'm doing since I do not read patterns. Now they have a full written pattern of this as well, and there are links for everything on the link tree. But where I left off with this is I'm working on the green section here, and I left off here on the baubles, you can see. And I thought it would be a great place to kind of start and show you guys some of the bauble stitches. So I've got a little section here where we'll work the baubles. So if we refer to our diagram, this is the repeating section here, this amount. And so once I get done with the baubles, then we'll continue working up. So we'll have some single crochets, some crisscrosses, more single crochets, and then a double crochet, and then we'll work our way back down. Now this pattern also repeats from left to right. So if you're not familiar with a chevron blanket, chevron simply refers to when it goes up and down like this. And I like to call it mountains and valleys. But this is a repeating pattern. So the way that I did mine is I chained 28 stitches. And then I said, is 28 enough? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then you would stop and you'll add 18 more chains. If it's not enough, then what you're going to do is you're going to add another 28 and then ask yourself the same question. Continue answering until you get it to the width that you want. And when you finally get enough of the 28s, then you add the 18. And I do not remember how many I did exactly, but if we look at it, these are the chevrons here. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So mine is 8. And what did I say it was? 53 inches wide. So it's a pretty big blanket. But let's go ahead and get into it. We'll talk more about the diagram here in a little bit as I'm changing rows. The other bit of housekeeping we have this morning is I'm giving away to the subscribers. Now the subscriber entries for the month of December is already closed, but at 8 o'clock today, if one of the moderators can give me a reminder, we've got to do the spinning wheel because we're going to give away the Granny Square source book. Okay, so that's for all of our December subscribers. So very exciting day today. And again, if you're just coming on, Merry Christmas Eve. Do you say Happy Christmas Eve or Merry Christmas Eve? I think it's Merry Christmas Eve, but who knows? Oh, thank you, Anvil. Anvil's doing math for me this morning. Thank goodness somebody's doing math around here because it's definitely not me. Now, guys, this is the Red Heart. Not Red Heart. I've done so much Red Heart the last few days. I've got Red Heart on the mind. This is Caron Simply Soft Yarn. and it calls for a size 8 H8 hook, and that's what I'm using this morning. So H8, just what the yarn calls for. But I do love this Simply Soft yarn. It's just so, so nice. Okay, and happy Hanukkah. Today is the first day of Hanukkah, I believe, as well. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. And just happy holidays in general to whatever holidays you're celebrating. Maybe you don't celebrate any, and that's fine too. We're here to talk about crochet. So no worries. I had to get this turned around. So when you work on the bobble stitch, you actually work from the back. OG said tomorrow night is Hanukkah. Okay, perfect, perfect. I knew it was close. So when you do these bobble stitches, the bobble stitches are actually worked in the back. And so this is the front I'm working on, and then it makes it go puffy out the back, and you get that fabulous texture. And the way that we're doing these bobbles is we have 4 on the sides, and then we have the valley, and then we go back up. So each one gets a total of 4 of these bobble stitches. And in between the bobbles, we're going to have some half double crochets, and that's going to kind of help to space them apart. So I did a bobble here, and now I'm going to do another bobble. We did 2 half double crochets. So here we're going to do another bobble. Now, don't be afraid of doing the bobble stitch. It's really not as hard as it sounds. Let me try to zoom this in just a smidge. Okay, so the way that we do a bobble stitch is we have a loop on our hook, and I wrap my yarn around, and I'm going to go down into that stitch and draw up a loop. And so basically we're going to make like we're doing a double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over. Now instead of finishing this double crochet, I'm just going to hold it right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like I'm going to do another double crochet right into the same stitch. So I yarn over, and then I go down into that stitch and grab up a loop, and then I yarn over and pull through 2, and again holding. Now we're going to do it a third time. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. We're just collecting these up on our hook. Oh, hey buddy, you need a snack? You need a treat? Good morning. Ooh, your ears are cold. We got to pause for a little dog treat, guys. There you go, baby. Yeah, good boy. He's a good boy. Cold mornings like this, he wants to get up in my lap some days. Okay, so sorry, back to the bobble. Got to tend to the baby puppies, you know. Okay, now yarn over again, go right back down into that same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's number 4. Now, if you ever lose track of this, you can count these here. You can see here's our starting loop. So this one that is on the starting loop doesn't count, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need one more. So let's do number 5. Right down into that stitch. Again, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you can see we have the starting loop on our hook. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one from each of the double crochets that we didn't finish. Then what I like to do is you don't have to do it this way, but this is kind of what I found that works great for me. I put my middle finger here on the back, and I put my thumb here on the front. And I kind of hold these stitches together. And then I yarn over and I pull through all of those stitches all together. And that, when you kind of hold it, it kind of makes this little cup shape. You can kind of see it there. And that is your bobble stitch. It's as simple as that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to this next stitch here, and we're going to do a half double crochet. So even though we started making like double crochets, you can kind of see how it gets a little bit shorter. So you don't want to put a double crochet in between because that will be too tall. So really the half double is what complements those bobble stitches. And we're going to put a second one. And by doing that, as we look at this, let's look at the white. The white's a little easier to see. You can see here's where those spaces are. So that is what is helping to define these little bobble stitches. So then after we get that one, now we're ready for another bobble stitch. So again, I'm going to yarn over, make like I'm doing a double crochet, go right down into that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two. Now again, we need to hold. And then, what is it, bud? What is it? Is it cold out there? Why, you don't need to come up. No, you don't need to come up. You're too big to come up here. Mom's trying to work and show the nice people how to do the crocheting. Yeah. If I give you another treat, how about a sausage? Do you want a sausage? Here we go. How about a sausage? A sausage will make everything better, whatever it is. Okay, here you go. Okay, get down. Somebody's got the Christmas Eve blues, I think. My little puppy dog. Okay, so then I'm going to yarn over and pull through two. Sarah, I can't say it on the live, but it's AMMO. It wasn't too bright of us when we named our dog, but that's what his name is, AMMO. So he's a little pit bull mix. He's kind of a rescue. Somebody dropped him off on my husband's coworker's doorstep, and he was a tiny little guy. And so anyhow, he is the like bluish gray color looking. He looks kind of more gray, but he's not a purebred or anything. And so anyhow, my husband, his coworker said, "Does anybody um, know anybody who's looking for a dog?" This was a year ago. It was a year ago, October, and we had lost both of our dogs. They were older, and they both had passed within a couple months of each other, and we had gotten them about the same time. So it was one of them was I knew was struggling. The other one was kind of unexpected, but they went back to back, and they were always hung out as brothers. Our previous dogs' names were Tater and Chip, and so anyhow, he said, "Yes, I know somebody who wants a dog." And so I was sitting there in my office one day, and he came in, and he had his hand in his had it like in the crook of his arm, and that little dog, I swear he was so small. He was so small, guys. And the really cool thing about it is Mama and Papa Wheeler were traveling from Arizona, and they were to get here the next day. And so they arrived the day after we got him. And anyhow, they got to bond with him and stuff. So he's a good boy. He really is. He can sit, he can shake, he can high five. Um, and his biggest thing is he still thinks he's a puppy. He likes to jump on people, and so that's a challenge we're trying to work through right now. And okay, so I have finished now our four little bobbles. So I did a bobble, and then I put two half doubles in between, and then I did a bobble and two half doubles in between, bobble, two half doubles, and then I finished the number four bobble. Okay, now as we're headed into the valley here, the way we're going to do this is the first stitch out after you do the bobble, you're going to put your half double. So if I finish the bobble here, this first stitch, you do a half double, okay? Normally you do two in between, but for here, we're now into the corner here, into the valley. So what we're going to do is we're going to do three together half doubles. So you can see here, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put these all together. Again, sounds more complicated than it is. I wrap my yarn around. I go down into that first stitch and grab up a loop. Now I just hold that and I kind of pull it up tall. You can see it's kind of tall. Now I'm going to yarn over and I go into the next stitch. Pull up a loop. Now I need to do number 3. So I yarn over, go into the third stitch, grab up a loop. Now I have all the loops on the hook. So we have our starting one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 2 of each. And then I yarn over and I pull through all 3 of those stitches. And that squishes them together and that becomes your little valley stitch. Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas for those that are just hopping on. We're going to do the subscriber giveaway at 8 a.m. Okay. And it's the if you're a subscriber and you already have this book, just let me know and you could pick something else. I'm going to send this direct from Amazon, but I love this book. There's a link on my link tree. I love it because they have all these squares, right? But then they also have the diagrams for each one. And so I really dig it. And they have, they have all the written directions as well, but this is one of the coolest books I think I've ever had. Oh, I really like these watermelons. I thought the watermelons would make a cute market bag, but it's a lot of squares in here. And there, some of them are complicated. Look at that one. Wow. Wowzer. Lots of layering, but they take you through it step by step. So anyhow, it's a really, really good book. Granny Square Source Book, 100 Contemporary Motifs to Mix and Match. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So anyhow, we'll do that at 8 for the giveaway. Good morning, Mel. Sorry, I know I missed some of your guys' comments. We're working on bobble stitches today, and we're going to kind of work through this row. I after I do the little valley stitch here, now I need another half double, so I put that in. Now I'm ready to do the bobble stitch again. So again, I wrap my yarn around, go under, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, and again we're just going to hold this. Now I need a total of 5 of these. So wrap your yarn around, go down underneath, grab up that loop, again yarn over, pull through two, and hold. Wrap my yarn around, go down, grab up that loop. Here's number 3, again holding. Let's do number 4, and one more, number 5. Okay, kind of pinch these and hold it. We have our starting loop here, and then we have our other 5 stitches. Yarn over and pull through all 5. Now immediately we go into a half double, second half double, and then we need to do another bobble stitch. And we're just going to keep repeating that. And you'll get a little faster with some practice, but don't be afraid of trying out the bobble stitch. It's really not too complicated of a stitch, and it gives fabulous texture. The one thing you've got to remember is that it pops out the back. So I'll tell you, friends, it's been kind of a struggle for me the last couple weeks. I haven't talked about this, but I wanted to mention it this morning. Um, my father passed away Saturday morning. He's been battling cancer, and I'm kind of pretty cried out. But if I start talking about it, I start getting a little teary eyed again. I worked on the obituary yesterday. Him and Mama Wheeler were married for about 25 years. And he is just he was a really, really good man. And he was very active in us as kids' lives. I played basketball in high school, and he toted me around and picked me up late after practice. And he was involved in some of our youth group stuff with both me and my brother. And my dad was a vet. He was, I've talked about it before, he was in the Army. He was stationed over in Eder, Oberstein, Germany. And he absolutely loved it over there. And anyhow, I thought about maybe canceling the live today because I'm a little off. I felt like I've been a little off for a week or so, as he's been kind of back in the hospital, and eventually he got moved over to the VA into the in-care hospice, the veterans complex there in Prescott, Arizona. Is absolutely amazing. He has gotten really, really wonderful care, and my brother and I are very, very grateful to the Veterans Administration, and I guess that's kind of why I've been, so focused on making like blankets to give to vets and stuff. Just because my dad has been kind of going through this, and it has been hard. It's been a hard thing. It's never easy to lose someone. There's no good time of year. The holidays are particularly hard, I think, on people because, it brings up all the memories, right? It brings up, sitting around the Christmas tree and drinking eggnog on Christmas Eve, whatever your family traditions were. So when that person is missing from your life, it makes it hard. I think about my grandma's birthday was on the 22nd, and I think about her. I know Mama Wheeler thinks about her, and I know everybody here has suffered loss in some shape or form. But I wanted to tell you guys all what was going on with me. And, I feel, I don't feel, I'm not crying because of, I'm sad for my dad, right? Like my dad is in a better place. Like he was suffering. The cancer was pretty bad. And he was at a, he was ready to be out of that pain. I cry because it's about me and my loss, right? So, anyhow, I do have that kind of going on, and we're going to have a celebration of life for him in 2025 at the lake. That'll give me time to travel back to Arizona. He absolutely loved fishing. I've talked about fishing on here. I get that from my dad. My dad was an avid bass fisherman, just absolutely loved it. And so my brother and I, my dad always wanted to be cremated and sprinkled at the lake. That was his wish. And so anyhow, we're going to do it in 2026, and that'll give me time to make some travel arrangements and stuff. And so anyhow, it'll be a wonderful thing, and we'll kind of have moved past this immediate grief that we're feeling. But thank you all for the support. Thank you all so much. And so I'm not 100% today. I just am not. And I wanted to tell you guys why. And like I said, I thought about canceling it, but you guys have all come to mean so much to me in my life that I wanted to share with you what was going on with me. I don't want to burden you all, but you guys are kind of my friends. You're my morning, laughter and entertainment, and I just really enjoy all of the time that we spent together. So, I'm human. It's not all rosy and happy frogging and all of those things. It's sometimes there's other things going on as well. So I won't dwell on it too much. But if I sound different, it's because I've had several days of crying and my voice is not the greatest right now. And so that's kind of what's going on for me. So crochet is my distraction, and I appreciate you guys all knowing that, and just helping to support me is wonderful. So I have been busy crocheting because that is my escape from. You hear me talk about it all the time. Well, this is an example of what I mean by that. So uh, yesterday I started on this blanket. This is a new veterans blanket that I'm making. But I just wanted to sit here and crochet and kind of I did this on Sunday, this little blanket I'm working on. But again, this will be a lap blanket that I can send off to the veterans. And he passed Saturday morning about 5 a.m. Let me get my little rolling cart out here. And my dad was very proud of the fact that I crocheted, and he was especially proud of the fact that I was donating blankets to veterans. That was an important thing to him. And he was very, very proud of me. And so Saturday morning, as I sat here crying, I made a pattern for my dad. And this is the little pattern I created. That's the back. So I'm going to call this With Love. It's going to be a repeating pattern. And of course, I did it in pink because Valentine's Day is coming up. But it is going to be repeating. It's very similar to the blanket that I'm working on this morning. But I did a double crochet, crisscross double crochet, crochet. Then I did kind of these spaced single crochets. And so I just wanted another variation to be able to do, more wheelchair blankets. And so I think it turned out really pretty, really, really pretty. And of course, this is with the pink, but I'll be able to do it in any color. And of course, I will, get the pattern written up. But I thought I could have made this up for my daddy. And I think, as I make those and give them to the veterans, I think he will appreciate that. So, anyhow, that's kind of what I've been working on as I've been, making phone calls to, let people know and stuff. And Yesterday I worked on the obituary, and it was, it was really hard going back through pictures and doing the obituary. But Mama Wheeler says this crying is part of the healing process. I wish I could stop crying though. So anyhow, I'm sorry to be a downer on Christmas Eve. Let me get a tissue here. 1 second, guys. Okay, so now I'm ready to turn on this row. I finished all of the little bobbles, and I'm going to chain one and turn my work. Sorry to snuff in your ear. I'm snotting and crying over here. Okay, now when you're first doing the stitch here, you have to do a second or second single crochet into this first stitch. And that helps keep the sides of your blanket kind of square. And then I'm going to work my way down here to the valley. And so we need a total of 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't get this placed right. Hang on, I got to rewind this, guys. I got to look at my pattern. Am I supposed to have 2 half doubles at the end? Oh, see, I almost messed up. I only did 1 half double at the end. This sneaks up on me quite a lot. So I did 1 half double at the end, and my count wasn't right. It's because you have to put this second half double in here, and I didn't do that. So let me add that in. Just frogged it out a little bit. So here is my bobble. Here's my 1 half double. It tells me I've got to put another half double in here. If your counts get wrong on this pattern, guys, it most likely is because you missed this stitch here, and I am a notorious offender. So now I'm going to do my single crochet. So I chain up 1. That counts as my first single crochet. Now into the same stitch here, I place my second single crochet. And now I'm going to work 5 single crochets in the next 5 stitches. So 1, move to the next, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm here to the valley, okay? So when we're to the valley, we're going to put 3 together single crochets. So you can see the stitches here, 1, 2, and 3. Again, when you hear the 3 together, don't be scared by that. That will work out just fine. It's not very hard. I go into the first stitch and I draw up a loop. Now I don't finish it, I just hold. Move to the next stitch, draw up a loop, and again holding. And into the third stitch here, draw up a loop. Now we have all 3 on our hook. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the starting loop. Then I yarn over and I pull through all 3. That is your 3 together single crochets. So when we look at the pattern here, see this little shape here, little triangle divot? You can look here on the stitch guide, and you can see it here, 3 single together double crochet. SC, single crochet, 3 TOG together. And that's how that's written, okay? So next we're going to move to our next stitches, and we're going back up the hill now, and we're going to do 5 single crochets and 1 into each stitch. Excuse me, 12 double crochets. I'm getting my patterns mixed up here. 12. 12. As you go up the mountain, you're going to do 12. Okay, so we're getting here close to the top. So when you get to the top of the mountain, this is our 3 together that we did at the top of the mountain when we did the bobble stitch. So now in the very center stitch here, we need to do, again, 3 single crochets. And now this is not together single crochets. We're just going to do 3 into this stitch here. Now we're ready to head back down the mountain. So again, we're going to do our 12 single crochets as we slide back on down the mountain. Does anybody have snow right now for Christmas? We don't have snow, but it was frosty this morning. It kind of looked pretty. Um, does anybody have snow where they're at for Christmas? Or are you expecting snow on Christmas Day? I always loved it when we got snow on Christmas Day. We used to get snow in Prescott quite a bit where I grew up. So I just love that. It sets the, oh, Shauna said, yes, it's snowing here in Pennsylvania, raining in Oklahoma, snowing in Maine. Elsie said it's snowing. How cool. The kids are all home right now, right? If you've got kids at home or grandkids, so they're all home for the break, I would imagine. We used to love, my brother and I used to love, I posted on social media last night. I posted on my Book of Faces my dad's obituary along with a bunch of pictures. And there's a picture of my brother and I sledding. You can find me on Book of Faces, guys. It's Wheeler 8 Acres. It's the same, but it's the name's April Wilson, and you can see the obituary if you want to see pictures of my dad. And there was one of us with sledding. My dad used to pull us. We had a toboggan, and anyhow, it was very good memories. I remember Mama Wheeler being out there in the snow with us too, as we were kids. It was just something that we did. And my mom, do you remember that red and white crocheted hat that had the little palm on the top? I always wondered, did you make that crochet hat? Do you know which one I'm talking about? I think I'm wearing it in that picture. And I wasn't sure where that hat came from. I don't have it today. But when I was a toddler, I always had this red and white hat with a white pom pom on top. It was a cute little, I believe it was a crocheted hat. And it was an adorable little hat. But I think I'm wearing it in that picture of the sledding. And my brother, there's a lot of pictures of my brother and my dad with fishing and that kind of stuff. We all love to fish. My brother loves to bass fish too, and so anyhow, it's just kind of what we do. Hey, Tanya, good morning. Uh, Rose said outside with shorts and a t-shirt, driving with my AC on. Mama Wheeler said, "Gosh, I don't remember where it came from. That was a cute little hat. I should try to see if I can zoom in on that little hat because it was definitely cute. There's a lot of pictures of me as a toddler in that hat. Quite a number of them. I think there's a picture of me with my grandpa in that hat too out in the snow. He was holding me and I was wearing that hat. But I'm pretty sure that was a crochet hat. I think that was one of the most challenging things as I was working on the obituary yesterday and going through all the family pictures and walking down memory lane. That is, gosh, it's to look back and see all that when you're feeling emotional is it's quite the roller coaster. I'm sure you guys have all been there and done that. It's definitely a hard part, but I know it's part of the grieving process. So guys, I'm just doing a row of single crochets on this pattern. Hey Barbie, good morning. Uh, yeah, I need to find that little red hat and see if I can check it out because I really do think it was a cute hat. Maybe make one for myself today. I like red. I've always been a fan of red. When I was younger, I used to have artificial nails. I used to paint those brightest red I could get them. I loved bright red. So now I'm kind of more natural with my nails. I don't. When I was in Arizona, I used to do acrylic nails, but now I broke this when I was working in my office, getting ready for packaging Christmas, and man, I broke it down to the quick here, and that sure hurt. Woo, woo wee. But there was nothing worse than the pain when you would whack one of those acrylic nails on something and have one of those break. Oh my gosh, brutal. So this morning, guys, for those that are just coming on, I'm working on this is the Hugs and Kisses Chevron blanket. And this is a pattern. It's a free pattern by the Crochet Crowd. And Mikey has a great YouTube tutorial of this along with the written pattern. I've put links on the link tree This red, this is all Caron Simply Soft. Caron Simply Soft kind of has a shine to it. It's beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's a 4-weight acrylic. This is Harvest Red, white, and this is dark sage. And I'm using a size 8H hook this morning. Now this is a repeating pattern, so you make these chevrons that go up and down. And we're currently working, we just finished this row of baubles, and now I'm working on this row of single crochet. So the way that this pattern works is you have these rows of what I like to call the texture rows, the main focals, and then in between each one you do the rows of single crochet. So it's a very easy repeat. After you get this first section done, then I'm able to sit here without referring to the pattern and continue crocheting. So I started here with this red, and I did this section, and then I moved to the white, and now I'm doing to the green, and now when I get done with the green, I'm going to go back to the white, and then I'll do the red. So I'm just going to kind of alternate my colors, red, white, and green, red and green with the white in between. And where did I leave off? And so right now I'm just doing the row of the single crochets, and all the single crochet rows are identical. So basically in the very valley here, you put 3 single crochets together. And then as you work up the mountain, you do a single crochet in each of the stitches. And there's a total of 12 of these as we work up the mountain. So I don't remember where I'm at. I don't actually count these. I look for the landmarks. You definitely can count them, and if I ever get off, I will go back and count them. But what I look for is, as I'm working this pattern, I look for this valley marker here, and then at the top I look for these 3 together that we did, and that's how I know where to place my stitches. So I just go up the side here and I do my 12 single crochets. Now these are our 3 together here. So the first stitch gets a single crochet, which I did here. The top stitch here, this is the very tippy top of the mountain now, and I'm going to do 3 single crochets right into this stitch. So you don't put any chains or anything in between. These are not 3 together. You want this to fan out. That way it'll crest over the top of your mountain. So you put 3 in that very top stitch. And now you do back down the valley, back down to the valley, you do 12 single crochets. So it's just a really nice, because you do these fun rows of texture, and then you go into these more easy rows of single crochet. So it kind of breaks it up. And the thing I really like about this pattern is I don't get bored with it. A lot of times with certain patterns, I get bored with them, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. I feel like I crochet it for miles, and by the end, I'm just like, ugh, enough of this. Oh, Amy, good morning. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. So, we're just working on the Hugs and Kisses blanket this morning, and we're going to do the subscriber giveaway at 8. I'm not sure what time it is, so somebody remind me. But the subscriber giveaway for the month of December is this Granny Square source book. This is an awesome, if you want to buy this book, there's a link on my link tree. It's off Amazon, but it is a really cool book. It's one of my favorite books that I've ever purchased, and I definitely want to make some of the squares in there. So Jackie, good morning. Jackie says, I would love to learn how to crochet. It's never too late to learn, Jackie. There's so many tutorials you can watch, and people you can follow. I really recommend Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. I've learned so much from him, but other people have lots of favorites if you're a beginner. Who guys on the chat, who is your favorite to like first learn from? Your favorite like personality, if you will. Paula says, do you come live often? Paula, I do. I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8:30 Central Time. And for those that don't know, my name is April. Sorry, I saw some new followers popping up as I was talking about the loss of my father. For those that don't know, my voice sounds a little gravelly today, more so than normal, because I've been crying a lot. I lost my father over the weekend. And so anyhow, I'm just feeling a little sad about that. And I talked about it earlier. But I thought about just canceling the live, but you guys have all come to mean so much to me. I wanted to come on and share and, still kind of try to enjoy the day. I don't want to go into a dark hole, if you will. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and come on and crochet. But I do come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, this week, the schedule is different. I am on this morning. Now, tomorrow, with it being Christmas, I will not be live. Everybody should, take time to enjoy the holidays, and that's what I'm going to do. It'll just be my husband and I. I'm going to cook up a ham and maybe make some mashed taters, and I got some green beans. So it'll just be a very casual with my husband and I. And if that pupper dog is lucky, he might get a little piece of ham. So, anyhow, that's my plans for Christmas Day tomorrow. My husband is off of work today and tomorrow, and I have to work this morning, but I suspect we'll probably have maybe a shorter day. We'll see. It just depends on how many orders we have coming in and whatnot. But then I am off for the rest of the week, and that is very, very abnormal for me. So no live tomorrow. However, Thursday I will be on, and I'm going to push back the time on that. Thursday, I'm going to be on at 8 a.m. Normally, I'm on at 7, and I'm going to work on Valentine squares. Okay, so we're going to do these little squares. This is my original pattern, and this is not sewed on. This heart is crocheted right into the square, and we're going to do this on Thursday at 8. And here's a red version. It looks super complicated. It's really not. And I'm going to walk you guys through it. So we'll do Valentine's on Thursday at 8 if you guys are ready to start thinking about Valentine's. And then on Friday, because I'm off of work, I'm going to do my live at a special time. I don't normally come on live on Fridays at all, but I'm going to work on the Hugs and Kisses baby shower blanket. And I'm going to be, did I say 1 o'clock? Sorry, forgive me, guys. My brain is not completely there. But this is the Hugs and Kisses baby shower blanket. It's a free pattern, again, by the Crochet Crowd. It was designed by Jeannie. There, she's not no longer there, but I know she still is doing some work on the side and stuff. So anyhow, we're going to work on this on Friday. So 1 p.m. Central Time on Friday, special event. I feel kind of weird saying that. But it's this really pretty Lion Brand yarn. Now, this dark blue, I took it out. I didn't like it. So we can talk more about that on Friday. But if you are not busy Friday afternoon and you want to try to catch me for the live, there is both live events published on YouTube and on TikTok. And for those that don't know, this morning I am live on both platforms. So hello, YouTubers. I know we've got a few people watching over there. And thank you for the thumbs up. I see a few thumbs up over there on YT. And thank you guys all for the screen taps this morning. I know it's been kind of a different kind of morning here, and a different morning as I'm mourning. But that's a little about me. So again, my name is April, and today is just kind of an off day for me. But I still wanted to come on and just say hi and kind of let you guys know what was going on in my life. So anyhow, I hope everybody's having a great week this week, and you get to enjoy some time with family and friends and whatever it is you get to do for the holidays. It's definitely and I can't believe it's already Christmas. Where has this year gone? I feel like just the other day I was so scared on July 5th to go live, you know. And I feel like I blinked and it's December and it's like going to be the end of the year here soon. It really boggles my mind. Yeah, Paula, I'm going to save the blue. I will make something else with this blue. So I've got it. I just pulled out the blue. To me, it was clashing with the pattern that I was doing. It's not the right hue. So I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but I'm going to make it all with this aqua color blue. And then I'll make something else with that. I don't know what, but it's not going to go to waste. So I do that quite a bit where I tear apart, variegated yarns and stuff. So anyhow, But I really like my latest wheelchair blanket. My husband really liked the colors of this. I thought this beige is really pretty. Isn't that cool? Looks really nice. I always am going to have one of these kind of going on the side. These I really like to work on after work when I am so tired that I can't think straight or count or anything like that. I'm just going to mix them up, and then I can send them off to the veterans or whatever. But I thought the blue would make a good veterans blanket. The next one I want to do is the red, white, and blue one that I have. Red Heart has a really pretty yarn that has the red, white, and blue in it, the variegated. And then I have the matching red and the matching navy. I didn't have enough of the navy, so I had to buy more yarn. Yeah, it's a wheelchair. It's going to be a wheelchair blanket. So, one of the my baby blankets I send down to the my sister-in-law is a NICU nurse down in Florida. When she was here, gosh, it was a couple weekends ago. I sent 9 blankets with her down to the NICU to give to the families down there. They have a blanket program, and I had been wanting a an outlet for like my wheelchair blankets that I wanted to do, or like veterans blankets. My dad was a veteran, and my sister in law is a veteran also. She was in the Air Force. And so I found online, I was watching Creative Grandma and Cody on YouTube, who you guys know I just love them. And Glenda was talking about Warm Up America. And I have links for this on the link tree. And within the Warm Up America, I found a list within there for Sabre Healthcare. And they take wheelchair blankets and also veterans blankets. Now, I don't know what the difference is between a veterans blanket and a wheelchair blanket. Maybe the coloring, I don't really know. So I'm just going to make blankets. I made a camouflage one, and I made some at Christmas time. And I want to make some Valentine's ones where they're fun pink colors. And the American flag, of course, would be like a veterans blanket. But this list of facilities, they're based kind of in Warm Up America. If you donate to them, you have to ship it to Texas, which I'm in Alabama, so that's a pretty far ship distance. And I thought, well, if I could find a place closer, I could save on the shipping cost, because I'm not swimming in it, guys. And that shipping, it can really add up. Boy, is it expensive. And so anyhow, yeah, it's like a lap blanket, Paula. So it's just smaller size. So basically, like when you're in a wheelchair, they don't want it too long so it'll get caught in the wheels, and they don't want it too wide. So typically, the best size for a wheelchair size blanket is 35 by 45. And I think, I really like doing those because I can come on and do them on the live. I don't have a very big attention span. So when I do really big blankets, sometimes I lose interest in those. And so a wheelchair size, I have more of an probability of finishing it. I mean, I do finish lots of blankets. These guys will tell you I do a lot of blankets. um, but it's one of those things like I just like working in the smaller sizes. It works up really, really nice. And so, anyhow, the Sabre Healthcare, I think on that list, I swear there's like what, maybe like 40 or 50 different healthcare facilities. So they're like in care nursing homes, right? And as my dad has been sick, he has spent a lot of time in assisted living facilities. And he spent, where he passed this past Saturday was at the VA center. And so I just feel this real calling in this coming year to continue with that. And so anyhow, that's my plan. But that list that they have is there are, I think, when I added up, because I added up the spreadsheet, they are in need of wheelchair, like 1,500 wheelchair blankets. I could make wheelchair blankets for the rest of my life, and I don't think I could supply enough to fill their need. And the veterans blankets columns were just as many. And they're based in North Carolina, South Carolina. I think they had some facilities in Pennsylvania. It was, there's lots of different places that you can donate to. Even if you just go into Joann's, there's a lot of times the Project Linus boxes. You could put blankets in there if you're looking for a way to keep crocheting and donate. So that is what I'm doing. And in 2025, I made this pattern for my dad. The with love pattern is what I'm going to call it. And anyhow, I'm just going to see how many blankets I can make and get donated and stuff, along with all my other stuff. I like to mix it up. So I just finished now. We did the bobble when I first came on, then we did the single crochet. Now I'm doing the crisscross double crochet. So the way that you read this pattern, guys, if you're not familiar with this, it tells you here the first row we're going to do a chain of 3. That counts as our double crochet. Then we're going to do a crisscross double crochet. Now, the way you read this is you're looking for how these stitches are placed into the row below. So when I finished this row below, I did 2 single crochets into the very first stitch that I did. So again, this chain is going to go into the first stitch. Then I'm going to go into the second stitch and I'm going to place a double crochet. Then I'm going to go back and place this crisscrossed into the first one. Then I'm going to skip a stitch, go into the next and do a double crochet. And then I'm going to come back and pick this guy up. And then when we get to the corners, you can see we have this little shape here. And the way you read this, you find this shape that matches up here. And it tells you 3 double crochet together. And that is written DC double crochet 3 TOG together. The way that you know these are crisscross is you come up here and it tells you crisscross X stitch. So if you don't know how to make an X stitch, you could Google this and find a video, or you could just go and watch Mikey's entire pattern. The links are on the link tree. He goes through all of how to do this. So I'm just kind of showing you guys how to read these as I go along. And so the important part that I try to commit to memory is I say, okay, on this short side, I'm going to need 3 crisscrosses. As I go up the mountain, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crisscrosses. When I go down again at 6, and then over here it's back to 3. So let's do it. So here I am at the very end. I just put 2 single crochets in my last stitch. I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. Now the pattern calls for a chain of 3. And the reason why I do a chain of 2 is because when I do a chain of 3, it kind of bows out a little bit. And so what I mean by that, if I do a chain of 3 and then like I'm doing another double crochet here, you have to experiment with this for yourself. But do you see how mine kind of poofs out here on the side? I don't like how it does not lay flat. And so what I have found is if I only do 2 single crochets or 2 chains, then I do my double crochet. See how it sucks in and it lays flat? So that is why I do a chain of 2, even though the pattern calls for a chain of 3. Now, it doesn't call for a double crochet right here. What it calls for is into this next stitch, it calls for me to put a double crochet. So I do a double crochet. Now this stitch here, it asks for us to do a crisscross, and we need to go back and pick up this stitch we missed here with a double crochet. So I cross those over. I don't remember how I was doing these crisscrosses. Oh yeah, I was doing them like this. Okay. So then it tells us we're going to skip this stitch, and then into the next stitch, I'm going to do a double crochet. Now I have to come back and pick up this one that I missed. So yarn over. Again, I'm just doing a double crochet. I go under the 2 bars. I put it all the way through my work, grab up a loop, and then I yarn over and pull through 2. And so there's another little crisscross. Again, skip 1 into the next, double crochet. And now go back and pick up this stitch here. Paula said, I always wondered why some do chain of 2 or chain of 3. Yeah, that's why. You have to experiment what works well for you. If they're bowing out too much, then when you do your sides, they don't stay as flat here on the sides. And so I personally just do not like that. And so I will only chain the two. Okay, so I've done my 3 crisscrosses here. I have my starting chain, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm ready to do 3 together double crochets. Again, don't be alarmed. That is not, it's not as complicated as it sounds. And so what we're going to do, you have your 3 stitches here, 1, 2, and 3. Into the first stitch, I'm going to make like I'm doing a double crochet. I yarn over and pull through 2. Now, normally I would yarn over and pull through these last 2. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hold this and that leave it undone. Now I'm going to look for the next stitch and I'm going to start another double crochet in that stitch. So I yarn over and pull up a loop, and then I yarn over and pull through 2. And now again, I'm just holding. Now we need our third little guy here. So here he is. Yarn over, go down into stitch number 3, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now we have our starting loop, and here's 1, 2, 3 unfinished. We have a total of 4 loops up on top. We yarn over and pull through all 3. And when you do that, it squishes it up. So that 3 together, when we look at the pattern, is this right here. So this 3 together is what we just did. And it looks similar when you do it on your crocheting. Okay, so now I'm going to skip the next stitch. Into this next stitch, we're going to put again a double crochet. Now I have to come back and pick this one up. We're going to do a crisscross. So again, yarn over, go down into that stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now remember, as we go up the side here, we need a total of 12 crisscrosses. And you can kind of look ahead if you want, make sure your placement is right. Here's my little tippy top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I'm going to be off a stitch here. Let me rewind this a little bit, guys. This placement is not, I've somehow gotten off on my stitches, and that's okay if you do that. Just rewind it. I'm going to move this over 1 stitch. It felt like when I was here in the valley, it was not lining up properly. So, I'm just going to move it over a smidge. Go back and put these double crochets back in there. We're going to start this valley situation over again. Once you start doing this, you'll kind of get a feel for it, okay? So I'm going to do these 3 stitches as my 3 together. So then if I want to check my calculations, I'm going to do skip 1. That's going to be my first crisscross. Skip 1, here's number 2, skip 1, 3, skip 1, 4, skip 1, 5, skip 1, 6, and here's the very top of my mountain. So I'm back on track. So that's how I figure out if I've lost my way, so to speak. Okay, so let's do our 3 together again. So I yarn over, go into that first stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. I'm going to do 3 of these. Move to the next stitch. Here's number 3, holding, and into number 3 stitch. Now we have all 3. So here's our starting loop. 1, 2, 3, total 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through all. Okay, now I'm going to skip 1 and into the next stitch, place a double crochet. Now I'm going to come back and pick up this little stitch that I missed. So again, yarn over and do my crisscross. Skip the next stitch, double crochet. Now we're going to pick up this one that we missed here. So again, yarn over, go straight all the way through your work, grab up that loop, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So there's another crisscross. This is called the crisscross double crochet. Does anybody ever... Oh, time check for our giveaway. Okay. We're going to do our subscriber giveaway at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to do it the way that I did it last time, guys, where I just bring my phone to the wheel of names, okay? This is a subscriber giveaway over on TikTok. So if you're watching me on YouTube this morning, you're going to have a slight intermission while I do this giveaway. It doesn't take us very long. And yes, I am on Central Standard Time. So I'm doing, she's letting me know that it's time to do the giveaway for the subscriber is what's happening, guys. So for the month of December, I'm giving away the Granny Square Source Book. And I just love this book. I kind of showed it earlier. It's one of my favorites. I like it because it has the diagrams with it, and it shows you like the picture but also the diagram, and it has all the written instructions, and it has 100 granny squares. So this is what I'm giving away for the subscriber giveaway for the month of December. I'm not sponsored. This is just a thank you from me to all of the subscribers for being so loyal and showing up. They show up and they support me and they support everybody here on the channel. So it's just a little way for me to say thank you and give back. So let me get the wheel fired up here. I set it all up over the weekend for us. So hopefully it's still there and ready to go. Okay, so let me bring my phone now, TikTokers. You're going to go for a little ride. And I'm going to bring you over to the spinning wheel. Okay, can everybody see the wheel? I do have the list of names here. Everybody's name is on there. We have 15 subscribers this month. And I'm going to do a couple shuffles. Is everybody ready? I can't see the comments because I'm, uh, oh, it's, yeah, of course, it's giving me the puzzle right in the middle of everything. Okay, sorry, going to do a few shuffles. Let me bring this back down now. And I'm going to kind of focus here on this. It's because I had to do the puzzle. Okay, can everybody see? Are we ready? I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. Here we go, folks. Donna White, you are the winner. Donna White. All right. So, how exciting. Let me switch back to my TikTok and I'm going to put you guys back over here in your cradle. Sorry, you've got my hand in your face right now. I figured it out. It's the easiest way for me to do this. So, woohoo, Donna White. Congratulations. I don't know if Donna is on the live this morning, but I will certainly reach out to her and let her know. And thank you guys all for being subscribers. And supporting not just me, but supporting the channel, right? You guys come on and you subscribe, and it's not just that, but you interact with everybody on the live. You're such great friends to us all. So thank you all so much. What a great month. I can't believe it's already December and we're moving towards New Year's. Really, really incredible. I have lots of ideas rolling around in my head for what to work on in the coming months as we head into the new year. You guys know I'm always thinking about something and what I'm going to crochet next. And I went through and kind of organized all my baby blankets over the weekend, and so I've got those kind of lined up. And like I said, on Thursday we're going to be working on the Valentine squares, which I'm super excited about that. And I developed a new pattern over the weekend for my dad who passed on Saturday, and I'm excited to show you guys that pattern as well, and kind of get that into the rotation here, if you will, for more lap blankets. And so I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a great 2025. I'm excited. We're so close to 10,000. Queen said, April, did you ever finish the hexagon sweater? I did not. I've lost interest in that project, Queen, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm gonna frog that whole thing because I just am not that interested in it. Is that bad, guys? I don't think it's bad. If I'm not interested in it, I kind of worked on it. I worked on it on the live. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Thank you, Veronica, and thank you guys all for the comments about my dad passing. I was pretty teary this morning, and I thought about not coming on, but I did lose my dad on Saturday morning, and he was 82, and he passed away at the Veterans Administration there in Prescott, Arizona. And so it is kind of a sad time right now for me and my family. Mama Wheeler was married for 25 years to my biological father, and they remained friends. It was a very commendable thing. They would come to family events. They always got along, and they made it very easy for us kids. And a lot of divorced couples are not capable of doing that because so much, damage or whatever has been done. But Mama Wheeler and my dad really made an effort, and they got along. They were still, what I would consider friends with each other, even though they weren't like married. It just they were at a point where it was not working, and so he was a really good man, and he will be missed greatly. I learned to fish from him. I learned how to clean birds and hunt and all those things that I do. And he was always very supportive of me growing up and all of the things that we did. And even into my adult life, I used to go to the lake and I would leave my trailer at the lake with my dad. He lived at the lake part of the year. And I would go down there on the weekends and roll up, and my little RV would be there, and dad kept an eye on everything, and we would fish together as a family and have barbecues out. And my dad always did a Friday night fish fry at the lake there. Sometimes it was Saturday, but he always did a mean fish fry. And so anyhow, I know we all have had losses, and doesn't make it any easier. It's been hard on me. So that's why my voice, Amy, that's why my voice sounds so messed up this morning, because I've spent a lot of days crying. And if I talk about it, I get teared up again. And it's just part of the process. And I'm a little snuffles, but that's why. So I'm doing what I can. I didn't want to like change my whole routine or anything. I thought about not going live, but you guys have all come to mean so much to me that I just thought I'd just come on here and be honest and tell you guys what was going on, and you would understand. And so that's what I always try to do, and be with you all. So anyhow, that is what's going on with me. And I worked on the obituary yesterday. It is on my Facebook if you guys wanted to go look at it. It's under Wheeler 8 Acres, but it's I think hard. Probably speak for everybody when you have holidays or birthdays or these things that bring up memories, right, of what you did. It sometimes is hard. It's hard to for me, it's very raw right now. But even, my grandma's birthday was the 22nd, which was, um, what, 2 days ago? And, I think about when grandma's birthday rolls around, I am missing grandma, and all of the things that we did together and all the shenanigans we did. Grandma and I, we were, palled around there. And so I know that is hard for everybody. And, on the lighter side, I know Mama Wheeler has been posting, but Mama Wheeler became a great grandmother over the same day that my dad passed. My niece had her first grandchild, and you guys know I made that little dinosaur baby blanket. She had her baby that afternoon. So my dad passed at 5 a.m. and she had her baby around 3 p.m. that same day. So, one went and one came, and so it was very bittersweet. It was just emotionally a pretty all over the place kind of weekend and day for sure. But we're very excited about the baby. My niece absolutely love the dinosaur blanket that I made. Most of you guys saw me make that on the live, both crocheting the project and the applique and stuff. We made the applique together, and I still haven't posted a video of that. I need to. I just haven't gotten around to it. I feel like my mountaintop is off centered. Doesn't my mountaintop, it doesn't feel center. I feel like my mountaintop should be right here. My counts are all over the place. I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of crocheting today, guys. I'm doing a lot of frogging. I think I'm not doing my counts very well. I'm going to blame it on the circumstances. So here's what I do if everything gets a little off. Instead of going in the 3 stitches here, I'm going to pull it back, and I'm just going to go into this same one right here. This is a very real way that I fix my projects. Okay, so again, I'm doing 3 together double crochet. Technically, you're supposed to go into the next stitch. I'm going to go into this same one because my whole project was shifted over wonky. Okay, And I'm just going to pull it back a stitch, and nobody will be the wiser. Well, you all will know. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look at this, you're not going to notice that I went into that same stitch and didn't move to the next one. So I'm a big proponent of, you just got to kind of, figure it out. So here is the stitch that I'm talking about, and here are the three together. So see how the row below here, how the three together, how we had a kind of a more of a defined space. Here, we're not going to have that. This is such a, intricate pattern in this area. Nobody will be the wiser. So that's how I'm going to fix that little blip, if you will. So all I'm doing, guys, is crisscrossed double crochet. So I skip one into the next. I'm going to do a double crochet. Now I'm going to put a double crochet into this one that we missed. So I'm going to go back and pick him up. So I go back to that stitch, put my hook through, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. When we go up the side of the mountain here, we need a total of 6 of these. They're called crisscross double crochets. So again, I'm going to skip one, and into the next, I'm going to do a double crochet. And now I'm going to go back and pick up this one that I skipped. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. I saw the new follower just pop up. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. So I have seen quite a few new followers pop up this morning over on TikTok. And I just wanted to say welcome to the live. My name is April, and I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings from 7 Central Time to about 8:30, at which time I hop off and I go do my real job. And I'm not a professional crocheter. I just am a hobby crocheter. But I come on here and crochet with my friends, and just kind of share some of the projects that I'm doing. And we all chit chat about crochet or life or whatever we've got going on. And it's a fabulous group of folks here. So I encourage you, if you all are watching me and you haven't given a follow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we would love to have you. And if you can come on the lives and get some morning crochet cheer as you get your coffee fired up for the day, get ready for work. Hillary over on YouTube said, Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. I will not be on live tomorrow, but I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas with family and friends. And I know Hanukkah is starting as well. And so, however you choose to spend your holidays, I hope you have a fabulous holiday. Now, my schedule is a little wonky this week, as I mentioned. I do have to work today, so I came on live kind of at the normal time. Now, tomorrow I'm off of work, and I'm not going to be live on Christmas Day. I'm going to be cooking a ham and hanging out with my husband and my dog, and celebrating Christmas. So hopefully those deer will come in on my deer camera. They've been coming in a lot. It's been nice and chilly here in Alabama, so the critters and the birds, oh, the house finches are really starting to go crazy on the feeders now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so for those that don't know, I live stream both my deer camera and my bird feeders over on YouTube as well. And you can find me on YouTube under Wheeler 8 Acres, but I'm live on both all the mornings. And so no, nothing for tomorrow, okay, on Christmas, but Thursday, for those that don't know, I'm going to work on little Valentine squares. This is my own pattern that I kind of worked up. And it's not an applique that's sewn on. This is crocheted on. So you basically crochet this little heart, and then you're going to crochet this square around it. And I have a red and a pink one. I think this is a great way to use up like scraps, like kind of a scrap buster, right? As I've been starting to work on Valentine blankets, I have some like scraps hanging around. And so this is a nice way to kind of use those up. So Thursday, instead of 7 a.m., I'm going to come on at 8 because I don't have to work, and I'm going to sleep in a little bit. And so that's Thursday. Now, Friday, I never come on live on Fridays, but because I am off of work, I'm going to do a special live on Friday. And I'm going to work on this Hugs and Kisses baby shower blanket. I'm going to start from scratch. Okay. I just made this sample to kind of show you guys what I'd be working on. But Friday at 1 o'clock Central, 1 p.m., I'll be working on the Hugs and Kisses baby shower blanket. So if you've ever wanted to make these, again, I'm going to start from the very middle and work my way out. And we have this little example, and I'll be showing you guys how to do this. So this is the sister pattern to the pattern that I'm working on today. This is the Hugs and Kisses. This is, again, it has the baubles. This is the chevron, whereas this is worked in the round. So the chevron goes up and down like V's, right? And this one is worked up in a square. And they're both extremely, extremely popular patterns. I believe the chevron is more popular. However, I make a modification on this blanket that I think makes it nicer. And the pattern calls for popcorn stitches. And instead, I do bobble stitches like this pattern. And so that is kind of how I change it up. And I'll be going over all of that on Friday. So if y'all are doing family stuff or working or whatever, and you want to come hang out with me on Friday on the live, that's what's on deck, if you will. And then I've also got other projects planned out further into the following week. I think what did I put up there? I don't even remember, but I've started publishing out the schedule further ahead. So if you watch me on TikTok, under my on my page, there is underneath the bio and all of that, there is a part where it shows my upcoming events. You can click on that schedule and you can see what I've got kind of scheduled out. I like to stay organized and have a plan. I'm a little bit that way. And so, uh, yes, I'll be working on the Hugs and Kisses. Uh, let me pin this comment. So yeah, the 1 p.m. I never come on in the afternoons or evenings because I work, and I work Arizona time. So even though I live in Alabama, it's when I get off of the live, it's 8:30, and then at 9 I have to be on for working in Arizona. But that means I get off at 5 Arizona, that's 6 Alabama time, and then it's time for dinner, and my husband is home, and we have dinner and watch TV and hang out, and watch things like Landman and Yellowstone and all those fun things that we like to watch together. So some 90 Day Fiance in there and some Sister Wives, whatever I can inflict on him. He's very patient. And so, anyhow, I never really go on live in the afternoon, but I thought, well, it's Friday. I'll probably feel like doing a little something, and might as well. So it's kind of a one off. Shauna said, I'll be there too. All right. It sounds like it's going to be a party. But if you can't come on, that's totally fine too. I know you all come and go as you all have lives outside of watching April crochet in the mornings. Like, let's be honest. I wasn't sure anybody would be here on Christmas Eve because, it's just Christmas Eve. A lot of people have today off of work. But like I said, I have to work. My husband is off of work today. Does anybody else not have to work today? Did you get the Christmas Eve off? I just found out last night hubby is off work until after the new year. Wow, that's awesome. You guys are going to have lots of quality time together, Anvil. That'll be great. Um, my husband acts like he's not interested in Sister Wives, but I know the truth. There you go, Tanya. I like it when I can get my husband sucked into one of my stupid shows. Sometimes he's half watching, one, two, three, four, five. I need 6 of these. So he lets me watch, whatever. He doesn't care. I really like Survivor. I just finished the Survivor. I've been watching Survivor. Gosh, I can't tell you how many years I've watched Survivor. Of course, my husband, he's like, this doesn't feel right. Hang on, I gotta figure this out real quick. Wait 1 second. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, it's right. Um, my husband, he would be like putting snakes in people's beds, and I said that's not part of the game, and he always says he would be doing his own thing. I'm like, you wouldn't last very long on Survivor. There's a whole social aspect to it. uh, Anvil said, have you guys got bail money if I need it? Anvil's gonna be out at the farm on in the trailer. You're gonna be working on your trailer, right, Anvil? It's hard when sometimes when you're used to having your spouse away for so long to all of a sudden have them there for quite a bit of time. I know that can be a challenge too. So, however, you need to get through the holidays, right? Too funny. I will be anywhere but babysitting an adult. Oh, Anvil, Anvil. I hope he's not lurking on the live this morning. Too funny. Hey, Alicia, good morning. See, you guys got me laughing. Isn't that great? That's what I love about you all. I knew you could get me out of my funk. uh, I do well until I start thinking about it. So don't get me thinking about it again. But no, it's gonna be a nice. I'm looking forward to doing a ham. I I did a turkey over Thanksgiving, and I don't know. I like doing a ham for Christmas. It's pretty effortless, right? Let's put it that way. I'll probably do some mashed taters in the instant pot. I don't know if mashed taters go with ham, but that's what we're having. I, and it's just my husband and I, so I don't have to get all crazy and fancy. But I might do a green bean casserole because I didn't do the green beans over Christmas or over Thanksgiving, and I've been kind of in the mood for a green bean casserole. So, Mama Wheeler, uh, together forever. Gen X says, I love ham gravy. My gram used to make it in Easter. Oh, wait, Anvil said, I whipped up garlic, honey, and cayenne pepper and made him take tablespoons of it for the cough. That'll help with it, actually. Honey and garlic are very good healing things. I'm on my herbal group on the Book of Faces. I believe in that kind of stuff. So much don't get me on the whole pharmaceuticals thing. Don't make me go there, people. uh there's a lot of natural things that we can use that although when I was feeling a little under the weather, doing a NyQuil really does help with that as well. But some people will say it's just like taking a whiskey maybe or something, whiskey and honey and lemon. That's what my dad used to say you needed. Uh, Wait, what about mashed potatoes? Alicia said, I've done mashed potatoes, green beans, and macaroni and cheese with my ham. Oh, well, macaroni and cheese sounds good. Oh my gosh. One time I did this smoked macaroni and cheese. Excuse me, smoked macaroni and cheese. I did it on the smoker and it turned out so good. That was like the best macaroni and cheese I think I've ever made. It was really, really good. I don't know that I'm willing to fire up the smoker, but man, that mac and cheese was good. Y'all are making me hungry this morning. One, two, three, four, five, six. Alicia said, I've been making homemade macaroni and cheese for years. I have a couple of TikToks bookmarked of people making macaroni and cheese. I have the way that I've been doing it, but I've been kind of wanting to try some of the others because, man, you watch some of these food talks. Is that what it's called? Food talk? I get some of my best recipes off of TikTok. I swear. I don't even Google anything anymore. If I want to know anything, I just go on TikTok and look for it because I feel like I get a more honest opinion of it. I know I'm not alone in that thinking. Some of the best casseroles I've made have come off of watching all my favorite TikTok foodies and good stuff. Good stuff. Mm. Yeah, you all are making me hungry. So, good morning. Thank you for the follow. Um, are you working on a border? No, I'm working on the Christmas blanket. Sorry, I haven't been talking about it a whole lot today. I've been a little bit in a funk, Alicia. My father passed away Saturday, so I'm uh, I'm kind of not myself, if you will. Normally, I'm talking a lot about stitches, and I'm trying, but my heart is not fully in it today. And I know this will pass, but I'm working on the Hugs and Kisses blanket. So here's the front. We did the red. I think we did the red on the live. And then I can't remember. I think I did the white offline and maybe the green offline. But what I'm doing right now is I'm doing crisscross double crochets. And so anyhow, These guys will tell you I just am kind of not 100% today, but you know, crochet is kind of my therapy, and so I started a new blanket on Sunday. Sunday I started working on this one. This is just a ripple, which is a going to be another wheelchair blanket, but I'm really loving the blue and this tan color. This tan is really pretty, the variegated. So this is kind of the standard ripple that I've always got going. But on my dad passed at 5 a.m. on Saturday, and let me move my card over. And so I've been kind of crying and teary. And yesterday I worked on the obituary, and I'm really kind of cried out. When you get one of those like crying headaches, makes it really hard. And so anyhow, for my dad, Saturday I sat here and crocheted, and I came up with this pattern, and I'm going to call this the With Love blanket. Uh, I'm kind of looking at it upside down. The light goes on the bottom here. Let me flip it around. So it's a repeating pattern. This is the repeat. This it's going to be a chevron, and I'm going to be able to use this pattern to work on my wheelchair blankets over the next year. And it's kind of in memory of my dad. So it's double crochets again, like I'm doing today, crisscrosses, double crochets. Then I kind of did these spaced out double crochets to kind of give it like a little row of. So it's a very easy repeating pattern. I think you guys are all going to really like it. I wanted something that, kind of had textures, but I could use it for doing, the wheelchair lap blankets. And so I'm sure at some point I'll be coming on and working on one of these. When I did this, and so the thing that there's a couple of reasons why I wanted to make this chevron. It just happened that on the day that Dad passed, I um, said, "This is the day I'm going to work on this." If you look at this chevron, this is, the chevron that I'm working on today. This has a total of 12 stitches as you go up the mountains. And sometimes, and I don't know if you all feel like this, when I'm working on a wheelchair blanket, I feel like 12 stitches is too much. This width of this V is too wide. And so you don't get enough chevrons when you make your wheelchair blanket. And so if I measure from tip to tip of these mountains, you can see here, it's about 6.5 inches. When I do a wheelchair blanket, they're only 35 inches wide. So if I do a chevron of this pattern for per se, if for a wheelchair blanket, I would not be able to get as many chevrons because this width is too wide in my opinion. And so what I have done is I have made it has different stitches. I'm not going to do the bobble. The bobble is a real yarn eater. And when I'm doing the donation blankets, although I know they like to sit there and feel the texture, right? That's one of the things. I feel like this still has enough texture in it that you'll still have that. What do they call that? Like the stimulation of feeling it. But the chevrons are smaller. Okay. So I basically shortened this up so that you can see these chevrons are not as wide, and I can do smaller chevrons and have more of the ups and downs. And the way that I accomplished that, instead of doing 12 as you go up the mountain, I did only 8. And so it is kind of a play off of this blanket, but it's definitely a little different. I mixed it up. And so that's kind of how I was thinking about uh, tactile. Yes. And so um, I just wanted something that they could still feel and have the texture and make it interesting to me as I crochet it. One of the things I like about this pattern is it's very interesting. But I'll be honest, I get tired of making these baubles. And I don't know if anybody else has made this pattern, if they have kind of a similar feeling to it. The baubles for me get a little old. But this red and white blanket here, the red, white, and green, this is the Hugs and Kisses. And it's a free pattern by the Crochet Crowd. And that's what I'm working on today. So this one that I made for my dad, the With Love, I'll eventually I'll have a diagram of this, and I'll eventually make one with you guys on the live for a couple days. But that was kind of one of the things I did Saturday as I sat here teary on and off, thinking about the loss of my father. And that's my crochet is my therapy. You've heard me say it before. And so I just kind of, um, when I get into like counting of stitches and placement and all that, it really helps to distract me and take my mind off of something like, losing your father, my the fact that my father died. And so that's what I did. That's what I did Saturday, and it was a great thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it just helps me to stay busy. And so let's see. Queen says, I struggle aligning the peaks and valleys, which is why I swore off ripples for a while. Well, Queen, maybe when I get this with love, maybe you'll give it a try again. I've tried to make it really, really easy, and I think you all might like it. I really enjoyed making it. I can't wait to do it in some other colors. The colorway that I did that in is called Jazzy, and it is a red heart ombre yarn. I think it'll be really pretty with the ombre yarn. And so I think it would be pretty with other colors as well. And so I'm excited to see what color combinations we can come up with. And, of course, you can adjust the size as well. So the Hugs and Kisses, when I started this one, it had a repeat of chain of 28. And so again, that's kind of a lot, 28 plus 18. When I did this new blanket, it's 20 plus 16. So these chevrons, instead of doing eight, this is 28. This goes down, so the new blanket will be smaller. I really like that. So I'm excited to try it out, and I just have to work on diagramming it. And once I have that, then I can. I probably need to do a full tutorial of it, but I don't know. I might come on the live and show it and just make a different color or something. Who knows? Lots to be figured out. But oh, time check already. Let's see. Kelly said, I started crocheting to keep me off my phone. You are the reason I started this blanket. Kelly, I am glad to hear that. A lot of times I am pretty much almost completely off Facebook now. I was spending a lot of time on social media, and it's not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I didn't feel like it was a very good use of my time. And I had a lot of other like games and stuff I used to play on, um, uh, Candy Crush and all this other crap. And uh, and it's not to say that it's necessarily a bad thing, but at the end of the day, the question I ask myself is, what do I have to show for playing Candy Crush or whatever it is? Nothing. I have nothing to show for this. And I feel personally my time is better spent making a blanket for donation that I can send off and brighten somebody's day than playing Candy Crush for an hour. I think my time is better spent crocheting for an hour. And I know everybody has to have a little variety in your life, but I used crochet as well to really get off of that whole social media that sucks you in. And honestly, a lot of times it's not very positive. And so I listened to my audiobook, and the audiobook I'm listening to right now, by the way, I don't know if I can finish it. It's really not very good. I don't know why it had such great reviews, because I'm like, I keep thinking it's going to get better, but I'm like chapters and chapters in, and I'm just like not loving it. So anyhow, let's see. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here. I'm uh, trying to catch up here, guys. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little tribute, and I think if I can, send it off for a veteran, I think it'll be a really cool thing. Uh, Amy said, how do you pick your colors when thinking about doing a design? So I kind of talked about this a little bit on the live the other day, because like sometimes it's, if we go back and look at this, when I first did this pattern, I had this yarn. Okay, this is a lot of times how I start my projects, right? I wanted to make something with this yarn, and so I started out and I was doing a pattern that was kind of like this with this yarn. Okay, so I'm doing rows back and forth, and It was okay, but honestly, I just really wasn't loving it. And so then I tried a different pattern, and then I tried another pattern. And finally, I was like, I think I'm going to try the, boy, I've got a big mess here. I think I'm going to try the Hugs and Kisses baby shower with this pattern. And then I found something that I liked with it. But the difference is I don't like this dark blue. So I took out the dark blue. I'm not going to use it. Here's my dark blue. I scrapped it. And so it's a different process for me because sometimes I pick the yarn first and match a pattern to it. And sometimes it takes me 3 or 4 times before I figure out what pattern is the one. Now I feel like this is the one. I did color control this in the very center. Now I'm just going to let it flow. You can see how it's just changing naturally, right? But the very center, I controlled that. And that's sometimes how I make these things work for me. So in this case, I picked the yarn and then I went through 4 variations of different patterns till I found the one, right? Other times I think about like, like this. I first made this in pink and I wanted certain like embellishments and that's how I kind of picked. Sometimes I pick by the yarn. So this or by the pattern. So I knew I wanted to make a chevron for Christmas. So I picked this pattern of Mikey's and then I put my yarn to it. So first I chose the pattern, then I chose the yarn. Um, Now this one here, I had purchased this yarn right here, this brown yarn, the variegated, and I knew I wanted to make something with this yarn. This tan and blue was really appealing to me. So then this was what my brain was focused on. What colors am I going to put with this to complement it? And they're not exact. This blue is not the exact blue, but it's very close. And this is a buff color. And so then I picked these other 2 colors that complemented this, and that's how I picked this one. So there's kind of a lot of different ways that I pick stuff. And so it's kind of hard to say I only do it this way because I really don't. It has to speak to me, I guess, is kind of how I would explain it. So yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Queen 530, Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah, she said. Sorry, my doctor just called. I have many things to do with. Yeah, Merry Christmas. I know everybody's hopping off, and I need to hop off here as well. The book that I gave away for December is this Granny Square source book. This was and Donna was the winner, and I'll direct message her today and let her know that she was the winner. But she was one of the subscribers over here on TikTok, and this is just a great book. The link is in my link tree if you're interested in purchasing this book. It's an Amazon, but the thing I like about it is it gives you like the picture of it and then it gives you the diagram, which I love diagrams, and then it also has the written instructions. But for those of you that know me, I don't read these directions very well. I really try, but it just is kind of like mumbo jumbo to me. And so I read these diagrams, and that's how I make stuff. So this book is super, super appealing to me. But I swear, every type of granny square you could possibly want to make is in this book. I really dig this water. You can see I've got it flagged with my little post-it. I really want to make the watermelon. I think it would be a fun market bag for like summer. I've made this peacock feather one on the live. You guys have seen me make this. I made a market bag with it. So here is here's this one that we made. We made this on the live, this pattern. Um, at the time I didn't have the book. And this would look really pretty as a snowflake, don't you think? I think that would be really pretty. It doesn't look that hard to do. I really like that. We're kind of moving past snowflake. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking more like spring and Valentine's Day now. I don't know what you guys are all thinking about, but anyhow, it's just a really cool book. So I don't remember how much it was, honestly. But the name of the Audible book, I think it is Look Closer or something closer. I'm really not digging the book. Casey said, "Where do you get your yarn?" So I mostly get my yarn online. I live remote. I'm in Northeast Alabama, and we're not like off the grid or anything. Don't get me wrong, but we're in a very small town. We don't have any yarn stores, so it's a challenge. If I want to go to Joanne, I have to go over to Huntsville, and that's about an hour away. So most of the time, I just will drive over to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is still like an hour away, but I buy online Joanne, Mary Maxim, Hirschner's, and Hobby Lobby. Those are my four primary ones. So it just depends. Aniki, good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Kelly said, "Hugs, April. I'm sorry to hear about your dad." Thank you so much, Kelly, and thank you everyone for all the kind comments about my dad and everything. I really appreciate that. And anyhow, Gen X said it's time. I've got to go. Queen says I need to make a market bag on the live. Yeah, maybe when I'm on Thursday, guys, you guys could kind of give some ideas of what you'd like to see for the coming year as we get closer to, um, thinking about what's on deck. Right, start putting a little bug in my ear. I know I want to make some flower market bags. I have so like this market bag right here, these flowers, I'm not going to do, I don't want to do it in black on the live, but I'm going to be making a flower tutorial and do this on the live at one point. So that way, if you guys want to know about, this is a very popular way to make a market bag. So I feel like we could do this kind of in some fun spring colors. I think would be really cool. Also I was thinking about maybe doing the zinnia square again. Here's another one of the little market bags. This one's in blue. These are ones I haven't finished. So anyhow, we'll be working on more of that as we get more into spring and kind of. This is my last day of working on Christmas stuff, but like I said, on deck for Thursday we have Valentine's. Friday special event 1 p.m. Central. We'll work on the blue square. So yeah, it's the sunburst square. Uh, yeah, you can go shopping for yarn in your stash. That is absolutely true. I've got to work on getting through some of my stash. So, anyhow, that's kind of it for today, guys. But I wish you all a very Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or however you're celebrating the holidays. I hope you all have a marvelous time. Again, thanks for all the support about my dad. Here's the book again, Aniki. It's on the link tree also if you want to just go on the link tree later. But it's the Granny Square Source Book, and it has 100 granny squares, and it's just a really fun book. So treat yourself for Christmas. I don't think it was that expensive. It's a really nice book. It has a nice cover on it. It's pretty thick, and it goes through at the beginning. It talks about all of the. I really like this. It has like the legend. So if you're looking for one, you can kind of sort through and say, "Oh, there it is. I wanted to make that one." I really like that part about the book. There's just a lot that there's hardly anything not to love about this book. Let's put it that way. It goes through and shows you all the different stitches as well with the diagrams. So I think that part is pretty neat if you need a reminder and you don't want to go back and try to find a video or something. And it talks about blocking your squares, joining your squares. It's just a great little book, and so many different fun, like different patterns. As we flip through, it keeps going to that watermelon one. I want to do the watermelon one on the live. I think it would be fun. So anyhow, um, do you have an easy pattern for a chevron pattern? I do not personally, but here is the one I recommend. And this link is also on my link tree. This pattern is by Amanda Crochets. And this is called the Modern Ripple. It's also called the Easy Ripple. This, I believe, is the easiest ripple blanket you can make. And I make this a lot on the live. This will not be, I will be making this at some point as well. I'll probably work on this blue blanket in the next coming weeks. But there are links on my link tree. It's Amanda Crochets and it's the Modern Ripple. And I truly believe this is the easiest ripple blanket you can make. Or it's chevron. It goes up and down. It's not as pointy, right? But it's still considered a chevron. So if you're just starting to do one, go ahead and check out this pattern. I think you'll like it. Um, MJR says, I'm trying to use my stash rather than buy yarn. Yeah, exactly. So, like this blanket, if you have a roll of or a skein of, a variegated, and you're like, what am I going to do with this? This is a great way to use up this. I did this first with the Christmas blankets. So anyhow, I hope that helps. But guys, I'm going to pop off now and I'm going to go to work. But thank you again, everybody, for the love and support about losing my father. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I knew you all could get me perked up this morning, so thank you so much, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. And have a very Merry Christmas. Bye for now.